Hey everyone, this is Dhruvin and I welcome you all to Microsoft Dataverse step-by-step series for Microsoft Teams with Power Apps. You are watching fourth part of this series, and in this session we are going to talk about how we can build a Power Apps for Teams with Microsoft Dataverse. So let's get started. In our earlier sessions, we have discussed how we can add Power Apps in Microsoft Teams to prepare a Power Apps. We have created a sample Power Apps and we have connected three data sources over there. We have created our relational database with the help of Microsoft Dataverse. In this session, we are going to develop leave management system with the help of Microsoft Dataverse for Teams. Here, I have considered two different roles. One is requester role and second is manager role. This is the home page of our application. From here, user can apply for a leave and they can view their own leaves and they can edit their leaves. And as a manager came to this particular grid, and from here they can approve or reject the leave request. So this is something that we are going to prepare. Now let's say for an example, when user click on apply for a leave, it will open this type of form where user fill in different information, and when they hit save, it will store that information. Now let's say when they click on view my leaves, it will open this type of grid from where they can check the status of their leave. And let's say whenever they click on edit, it will open the edit from where they can make changes to their leave. Now this is the manager view. Manager can approve or reject the request assigned to them. From here they can approve or reject the leave request and they can make some comments in the form. So this is the overall thing that we are going to develop throughout this entire session. So in this fourth part of the series, we are only going to focus on Power Apps page design, form design, save functionality and grid design. We are not going to focus on role during this particular session. For role management, visit my next session. Links are always down below in the description box. Also, one important thing, here I believe you have basic knowledge of Power Apps. If you are in the first step of Power Apps, I would recommend you to visit my entire beginner series for Power Apps. Links are always down below in the description box. Now let's get started with the development part of Power Apps in Teams. Let me go to the build section. This is the team which we have created in the starting of this entire series. So this is our team, Microsoft Dataverse YouTube, and this is the Power Apps that we have built during second and third part of this series. So let me just open this particular Canvas app. So this is the Power Apps which we have built during our earlier sessions, and this is the default screen that has been automatically created when we create this particular Power Apps, and these are the tables that we have created during the third part of this series. Now, before we start with the in detail development part, let me just give you a little bit overview of the out of the box screen which has been created over here. So this is the default screen that has been created when you create a new app inside the team. One is right container where we can create our own form, and on the left container side there is a grid view where we just need to provide our data source and it will provide its information. Now let's say for an example our list name is leaves list. So let me just give the list name as leaves. So what it will do is it will automatically create its form over here. So here you can see that all the fields has been added over here, and here there is a new record option from where new form will be called, and from here delete option is there, so we can delete the record, and from here we can edit the record. So each individual code has already been written over here. So if you do not want to make the entire Power App, so you can just utilize this particular screen and everything is handy. CRUD operation is ready made available over here, but I am not going to use this particular screen. I will be developing the power apps from scratch inside the teams so that we can learn each individual concept in detail over here. So now let's get started by creating a home screen first, and then we will start with the form part. So first of all, let me just create one home screen. So let's create a new screen first. In order to create new screen, just go here, and from here you will be finding different type of screen. So we are going to create one blank screen. Now let's add two buttons. Click on insert option. Here you will be finding buttons. So this is the first button, and let's just copy and paste this one. This is the second button, and same way third button. Now let's rename our button. So our first requirement is for apply a leave, from where we can redirect it to the new form for applying a leave. Then this is something which is leaves assigned to me, meaning my leaves, and this one is the manager view, that is request assigned to me. So we just rename these three buttons here. Now let me just add labels. So this is my requester view, so I'm just using requester here. Let me just increase the font. Just copy and paste. Let's change the label. So we have prepared our home screen over here. Now visibility condition is something that we will be discussing in the fifth part of this session, where we are managing different role, but at this moment just keep that as it is. Now in order to apply a leave, we need to create a new form, right? So in order to create new form, let's create a new screen. So I'm just going to create new screen. From scenarios, just select scrollable screen. So I'm just creating a screen like this. Now let's change the label here. So let's change the text property. So my text should be apply a leave. Here we need to add one new form, right? So for that, just click on add an item for this one, and from here click on edit form. So that will add this type of form for us. Increase its width, and now let's provide its data source. So its data source should be the leaves table that we have created in our earlier session. Now we just need to edit the field and manage every field. So my first field should be the leave type. So it is not available here, so let's select leave type. So first field will be leave type. So let me just drag that and move to the first position. Second one is leave description, that is right. Leave ID, we do not need that because it is the auto incremental field and it will automatically store its value at the backend. Then we need a start date, so I'm just changing its position, start date and end date. Similar way, we would be having a manager drop down, then we would be having number of days, then we need a manager drop down as well. So let me just for the manager, so manager name is available, let's add that column. So manager name and manager comment. So I think I arranged each individual field over here, so you can simply drag the field and arrange the position over here. Just select your form control. From here let's select two columns. Now this is the leave type. Then leave description should have a much more length because we need to add some description here. So let's drag that column and let's increase its height as well. Now start date and end date. Now we do not need this two particular thing because we do not need time over here, so we can simply remove these two things. But before that, let's unlock the card. So I'm unlocking this card. Similar way, I'm unlocking this card as well. And now let's remove the 1 and 2, and now it will throw you some error. So from update code, let's just remove this code. All the references associated with that particular control will throw you an error. So we just need to remove those things from here. Whenever you click, you will be getting this many of references. So we just need to remove them all. That's all. Yeah, the error has gone from here. Now let's just decrease its width. Let's check its width. It is 326. So we just need to have the width here as well. 326. So this will look nice. Now similar way, we need to perform the same action for end date as well. Just remove that, remove unwanted references, and then we are good to go. So from update, we just need to remove this code. Then there is a reference on x-axis. Let's remove that. Then there will be a reference on y-axis. Let's remove that. Then there is a reference for width. Let's remove that. Then one more reference for x. One more reference on y. One more reference of height. So I think the error has been removed, and now we just need to decrease its width. Now number of days we need to calculate. So let's move that column into the second position. So I just need to select this one, go to the advanced property. Now unlock the card first, and here click on more option. Here we can see that x is 0, y is 2, meaning it's in third column, 0, 1 and 2. Now I just wanted to place that to this particular position. So basically its y should be 1, 0 and 1, and its x should be 1, 2 and 3. So let me just change its y as 1 and its x should be 3, like this. So this will be looking like this. Now let's just arrange its height and width. Go to the width property and change the width. So it has been properly set. Now manager name, it is a full-fledged manager name like this, and manager comment. So let's keep that as it is, but if you want to move the manager comment above section, so you can do that. Now I just wanted to add one button on my screen, so I'm just selecting my screen, and now I'm just adding one button. Go to the insert and clicking on button. So that is added one button, and now let's place that at the bottom, and let's rename that as a save button. Let's change its text and change it to save. Right now, in order to save this particular form, we just need to write a submit form over here. So just select on select event. Let's write a code for submitting the form, submit form, and inside that form 1, that is the ID of my form. That's all. Now what we need to do here is, on successful save, I just wanted to print a message that form has been submitted successfully. So I just need to select the form control from the left navigation, and now we just need to go here with on success event, and now we just need to print a message notify. For that we will use notify action. A leave request has been submitted successfully. Notification type is success, so we will just use a success. Let's copy the same message, and let's write the same code on failure as well. If something went wrong, it will something, it will print something went wrong, and it will show the error sign. Now what we need to do here is we just need to initialize our form from the home screen. So just go to the home screen, from apply leave, just write on select event, type new form, inside that form 1. Also, before we write new form, we just wanted to reset that form as well. So reset form, and inside that form 1, first we'll reset and then initializing the new form. So, and then we are navigating to screen 3. So navigate, screen 3. So we are good here. Now what we need to do here is let's just alter and click. So it will initialize my new form like this, right? Now I want to go back, so let's just add one back button on the top. So just go to the insert section and just expand shapes. Here we have back arrow, so let's add that and let's make its color as white so it will visible. And now let's write code here. So we will write a back function, back, and inside that we will use cover. So from here we can go back. Now we need to calculate number of days. So let's select the inside data card, number of days. So I have selected this data card value 8. Now let's just copy the ID of both of this date value. So the ID for the start date is date value 4 and ID for the end date is date value 3. So basically I just need to write here a formula, date difference, date value 4 dot value minus date value 3 dot value plus 1. So this is the formula that I am going to use here. And now I just want to make this field as disable. So I am just changing its display mode as display mode dot disable. And if there is no date has been selected, it should show 0 over here. So let's just make that logic. So let's just write a logic. This should calculate this date difference only if any of the value does not have the blank value inside that. If it is not blank, then calculate the calculation, otherwise mark that as 0. Simple. Yeah, so I just made that change. So this is the formula. Let me just format that. And don't worry, I am going to provide this code link in the description box so you can directly download it from there. Now let's make some of the fields as required field, like leave type is required. So let's just make that as required. Let's unlock this card and let's make that as required. Manager comment is something which is only applicable for the manager, which should not be appear over here. Also, one important thing I forgot here, like status column. So by default from new form the status is pending by default. So we just need to define the status column. So let's make these changes first and let's add the status column as well. So I forgot to add that. So let me just open up my table again, go to the data. In leaves list I just wanted to edit one column. So just go to the edit and add one column. I'm just adding one choice column named leave status, and its type should be choice column. 3 choices are there: pending, approved, reject. So the column has been created. Now let's add that to the form. So go to the edit field and now let's add the field leave status. So that has been added. Now this field is something which should be appear only for manager and in the edit form. So let's make its visibility conditionally. So if form mode is equal to edit, only at that time it should be appear for managers, otherwise it should not be. Now that role thing is something that we will manage into our next session, but let's make a visibility condition for new form. Should not be visible if form1 dot mode is equal to form mode dot new, then it should be false, otherwise it is true. For new form it should not be visible, for edit form it should be visible. Let's set that condition. Now let's go to the screen 2. Now let's apply for a leave and let's check if the condition is working or not. Now it's working perfectly. So we have created our new form. Now let's save its value. Planned leave, Diwali, and as you can see that the date picker experience is really awesome in Power Apps within the teams. We do not need to press OK here, so that is really good. Number of days calculated automatically. Manager is Dhruvin. Now let's save that. So the leave request has been submitted successfully. On success we need to navigate to the home screen as well, so let's write that code. So on select the form, go to the on success event, and same way navigate to the screen 2. Right, so form creation has been completed successfully. Now let's create a grid and then we will make the edit form. For that let's rename our screen first. So this is our home screen, this is my form, leave form, and now let's create one more screen. I'm creating one scrollable screen, and into this canvas let's add one grid. Select this data card, click on add, and let's add vertical gallery. So the gallery has been added here. Let's rename the title as my leaves. And now let's remove everything from the gallery. So this gallery has been placed outside here. Let's just cut that and place that inside this data card. We place that, and now let's just remove this unwanted part from here and let's add label inside that. Right, this is our gallery. Click on edit icon, and now from insert select label, so that is added some labels here. And then we will add one icon. So basically we just want to edit that form. Now let's provide the data source of gallery, so that is leaves list. So first one is leave description, then here we wanted to show start date, this item dot start date. We need to show end date, then we want to show number of days, and at last we want to show status. Now let's increase width little bit. Right, so this will looking like this. I know the grid design it's not as good, but you can improve the design based on your experience, and it is similar like the Power Apps concept, so you can do that later. Now from here we just need to redirect to the edit form. So we just need to reset the existing form, reset form, form 1, and then we are just initializing our edit form. Now just go to the form that we already created. So this is the form which we have created for the new one. So we just need to change one thing, item code. Now here we just need to provide gallery1 dot, because our gallery is this one, gallery1 dot selected, right? So whatever the item would be selected, it will be automatically filled in here. Now let's go to our screen and now let's check that. Now let's say I'm selecting this Diwali and editing this Diwali item. Let me just write navigate code as well. We just need to navigate to screen, leave form. So let's click here and let's see. Yeah, so it's being populating everything here, right? And you can see that leave status is by default pending because during the save time we have saved that status, right? So this has been visible to us. Here as well, let's add one back button. Just copy this one, paste it over here, and that's all. Now this grid should show only the records for the leave which I have applied. So we just need to use this filter function in which we are filtering created by dot primary email is equal to user dot email. So this will only filter the record based on the current logged in user over here. Now you just need to create headers and you just need to make the UI properly. So that is the homework part that you need to do. Also this best practices for grid design, form design, everything I have explained into my beginner series. So just visit my Power Apps beginner series so you can learn everything from there. Let's apply the navigation from the home page. So let's go to the home page and let's apply navigation from here. So let me just apply navigation, navigate to my leaves. Now we have completed this and this section. Now only pending thing is request assigned to me for manager. This will open the similar grid like my leaves. Now what is the difference over there? Let me show you. So in my leaves, what we have done here is we have applied a filter on the grid based on the created by. So whenever the created by is equal to current user, those requests should be shown to the end user. Now as the manager, which request should I able to see? I would be able to see the request where manager name is equal to current user. So they will be able to see those requests. So now let me define two variables over here on the home screen from where I can identify that which button has been clicked, and based on that I will make that filter dynamically over here. So if user clicks on that button, meaning they are regular user, and from here they are manager. So let's just pass one context variable. And what is the name of the context variable? The context variable name should be role btn and the value is user, and same way we just need to use the same code on select event. Manager, right? Now we just need to use one switch expression over here into the screen. Just go to the filter action. Now here we just need to check switch the variable name. If the variable value is user, then the same code that we are going to use at this moment, and let's copy this one. If the value is manager, then the code should be different. then instead of created by, we need to use manager name dot manager email is equal to user dot email. This would be the condition. Let's complete the bracket and let's format the text. The code would be looking like this. Don't worry, I'm going to provide the code into GitHub. So this is switch expression. So at this moment only for one request manager is my user, so it is showing that request. Now let's check again everything. So let's say if I'm clicking from here, it will show 2 requests, that is absolutely right, and from here it is showing me a single request over here, and rest of the thing will work as expected manner, right? Now let's apply a leave from the scratch. So I'm apply a birthday leave, birthday celebration. Same way we need to select start date and end date. 26th of November I'm selecting. 1 day leave. Then my manager would be Dhruvin, and just click on save. So the request has been saved. Now let's go to the my leave section. So it is showing me birthday celebration leave. It is pending at this moment. So when they open edit, it will open this view. Now let's say for an example I'm going for as a manager, so it is also showing me. Now as a manager I just want to approve that, so I'm just selecting approve from here and just writing a comment approved and click on save. So I am being redirected, and from here I can see the status of my leave as approved, right? So this type of basic application we just created inside the Teams with the help of Power Apps and Microsoft Dataverse for Teams. You can also implement the email approval flow as well with this particular Power Apps. I am going to explain you once that series is completed, so we will create a separate video for that as well. So this is how we have created our own Power Apps inside the Teams. Hope this is clear for you now. I know some of the procedure I made fast forward, but I assume that you have some basic knowledge of Power Apps. So this is very simple, very straightforward and easy. Now in the next session we are going to check how we can manage the roles, and we will manage the fields based on the role condition. Like only manager would be able to see the status column, and they will be able to approve or reject the thing. Same way on the home page the button should be based on the role, so based on role each user would be able to see their own button. So this thing is something that we are going to make in our next session. If you are for the first time to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe and press the bell notification to never miss any updates from my channel. Stay tuned with me on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter. If you wish to receive the daily notification from my channel, click on this link. It will be redirecting you to this WhatsApp homepage. Just fill the form and you will be receiving daily notification about all my new updates on your WhatsApp number. Also, if you wish to listen different podcasts, click on this link. It will be redirecting you to the podcast homepage. From here you can listen your favorite podcast on different podcast platform like Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify and much more. This is Dhruvin signing off. Have a great day. Goodbye.